One of the core exercises in giving voice to values is something we call a tale of two stories, where we ask people to think back on times when they themselves have encountered values conflicts and effectively acted on their values, as well as times when they've failed to do so. And the trick there is to understand what enables me to act on my values effectively and what disables me, what inhibits me from doing that. So can I maximize the one and minimize the other? Or can I learn ways to counteract the disablers and maximize the enablers? Part of that is to help people understand that ethics is not about sorting good people from bad people. We've all acted on our values effectively at some point, and we've all failed to do so at another point. So it really, with GVV, it's more about building that skill, building that capacity. You know, a lot of people, when they hear me talk about giving voice to values, they'll say, well, this is about building moral courage, right? And I actually don't think of it that way. I think if you talk about this as you need to have moral courage, a lot of people will think, oh, that's cool, I'm going to have moral courage, you know. But a lot of people will think, well, that's a nice thing, but it's really not me, you know. And so what I've kind of learned is that you need to help people understand their own strengths and then play to them. So when I talk to people who see themselves as assertive and bold and risk-taking, they can often frame acting on their values in a way where it's taking a risk in the service of their own values, and that empowers them. But when I'm talking to people who see themselves as introverted or risk-averse or very cautious or fearful, then the way they tend to frame the example is the safer route is to act on my values. And so what we try and do, one of the pillars, there's 7 pillars of giving voice to values, one of the pillars is self-knowledge and alignment, where we try and help people understand what motivates them, what their strengths are, when they are most effective. Are you most effective in a argumentative mode, or are you most effective in a more asking questions kind of mode, sort of pulling ideas out of people? Are you most effective in a storytelling mode? You know, what is the way that you are most comfortable and most effective? And then frame the ethical conflict you encounter in a way that plays to your strengths. So I'm not going to ask the introvert to be an extrovert or vice versa. I'm actually going to ask them to find a way to frame the problem that plays to their own strengths. Maybe they're not going to be the one who speaks. Maybe they're the one who does the research and finds the allies and sort of cues them up to raise the issue, whatever it is. So I think that that's an important thing. So I always tell people, GVV is less about moral courage than it is about moral competence.